to the theater of Bay City Players. This is a place where magic and creativity and fun happen all the time. This is a place where everyone can come and find a home, regardless of your age, your description, your abilities, or even your talents, because there is something here for everyone, whether it's here on stage or backstage. For every actor that is on stage for a performance, it's said that it takes 3 people backstage to create the magic that happens out here for the audience. The theater and the magic that happens here can transform you from a regular person into a London street orphan, or a lion in The Lion King, or Dorothy dropping into The Wizard of Oz. Anything can happen here, anything at all. But let's take a minute and explore our space. This is the stage where I'm at now with our lights, and out in front where the audience sits is called the house. So when you move around the stage, you are given your directions by the director. The director is the person who sees the entire script and has a vision for how they want to see the play come together. So if the director tells you to move upstage, where do you go? Well, a little background. Originally, theaters had the audience sitting on a flat, grassy area, and the actors were all on a hill. So if your director tells you to go upstage, then you go up the hill. And if you're told to go downstage, well, then you come down the hill. Directions? Stage left. Stage left is the actor's left. Stage right is the actor's right. So directors have the extra challenge of always thinking a little bit backwards, because it's always the actor's left and right. So what else do we need now that we know we can move around? We have our blocking. Blocking is our stage movement, where we move around on the stage. And then we need a set. This is our set. It's made up of actually false walls that are made to look like real walls to create a house, or a bedroom, or a castle, or a hotel, or any place, absolutely any place at all. So we have our set. And then to make our set really believable, we need to add a few more set pieces. Let's add some chairs. So we have our set pieces. And suddenly, what was once a bare space is now starting to turn into more of a room. This regular stool suddenly has become a table. That's part of the magic that happens here in the theater. So what else do we need? Props. Props are the things that an actor will carry on stage. It might be a book, or a phone, or a lamp, or a pitcher, or a donut. So the actor carries it on, and their prop adds to the believability of what is happening on the stage. Then you add your makeup and costumes and hair, and it will all suddenly start coming together to create a very believable and magical place. But let's see what happens backstage, because while the audience is completely captivated with what is happening out here in front of the lights, there's a virtual beehive of activity that's happening backstage, always completely silent. We never want the audience to hear what's happening backstage, because we always want them completely believing what's happening here. But let's go take a look and see what does happen backstage. When we head backstage, we find that there's a whole greater level of magic happening behind the scenes. While the audience is completely captivated with what's going on stage, there is a bustle of crew activity happening back here to make it all go seamlessly. Whereas we saw what we thought was our living room out in front, we see here just some very two-dimensional walls that are propped up. This is all constructed by our set crew. They come in and they build these sets and prop up the walls, and then they come in and paint and create all kinds of illusions with paint. And then we have our prop table. This is where all the props for the show are found. Our prop crew will find everything our actors need, make sure that it's always in good working condition, and that it's found right here. The biggest rule in theater for an actor is don't ever touch someone else's props. And when you come off stage, put your prop right back where it belongs, so that for the next performance, you're not running around saying, "Where's my feather duster?" You know exactly where it's at. It's in its spot here on the prop table. So then we can take a look at some of what the light crew does. All of the lights are hung differently for every show. Our lighting crew may climb scaffolds to hang the lights from the grids and the beams that are above the stage. Lighting is really important. It can change a room from being bright and sunny to being dark and stormy or creepy. It's important work. Then let's walk this way and find out where our stage manager is during the show. The stage manager is usually found backstage right. They have their own control panel because as soon as the curtains open for a performance and the show is ready for an audience, the director then gets to sit in the audience and enjoy it with everyone else, because the show is then turned over to the very capable hands of the stage manager. The stage manager is here connected to the light booth and the sound booth, usually by a headset and radios. They're talking during the show to the set crew, letting them know what's happening. They're always keeping up with what is happening, how much time, when do curtains need to be pulled, when do actors need to be on stage. It's always very important to listen to your stage manager during performance, because they are the one that is captaining that ship. You'll find them here, and there's usually right next to the stage door. When we go this way, we find where our actors will all come through. This is our stage door from our dressing rooms. And then we hit a whole nother level of backstage. Come on. Before the show, this is where you'll find your cast. Here in the dressing room, putting on the final touches of their costumes and applying their makeup here in the mirrors that are lit so that it will mimic how they will appear on stage. Sometimes makeup can change someone who's very young to look very, very old, or turn them into a dog or a vampire. There's a lot of magic that happens here in this room too. And it's an important part of the whole process to be part of the costume or the makeup crew. In the end, this is a magical place. The theater is a great place for everyone, and we want everyone to feel welcome to come join us here at Bay City Players. Be part of the magic, whether it's on stage or it's here backstage. Come be part of our magic at Bay City Players.